I don't know if you guys were on last. I don't know if you guys were on last week, um, but we started off by just saying, you know, what did you feel about the shift? What are you hearing? I shared some ideas from the past. We had other vet agents on that shared some ideas, and I had that discussion because I wanted to just make sure everybody was in the right mindset. Everything starts there, and that's the first tactic um, in shift is get real, get right. So I use the acronym called HASTA, where things happen, we become aware of them, we have strategies around that. We get training and coaching so that we can enhance our strategies and be better at whatever it is. It doesn't just have to be real estate, but we're talking real estate, of course. So we get better at scripts, we get better at managing our calendars, we get better at being efficient with our clients, follow up, all of those things, right? That's the training and coaching part. And then the last thing is accountability. So it's HASTA, HASTA. What happens? We're aware of it. We create a strategy around it. We get training, coaching um, to enhance that, and then we get accountability to make sure that we're doing those things that we said we were going to do, and that we become aware of. So wanted to make sure that mindset was there, and it was actually a phenomenal call. I just looked at it again last night. It was really good, interactive. Don't know where all our people are, but I'm not there. I don't know. I didn't get to meet people in the hallway and remind them to do it, and text people and say, hey, don't forget to jump on this. But it's okay. We're gonna roll through this every week, no matter what. If we got one person on here, so that was last week. That was tactic one. Um, Tactic two, which is super important, but even more so with what's going on across the country, not just in real estate, but with inflation and how everyone has like budget has been blown. There is no budget. Just let's be clear. Most of us do not have a budget. Like if someone says, "Hey, let's do this," we're like, "All right, I'm doing it." We didn't really have a sense of money in our personal lives, and that has spewed over into our business life. So if you guys were on the call last week, this is kind of interactive because I want to, make sure that it's not like just a teaching lesson. Um, where are you on budgets? And I know both you guys have been typing in the chat when I spoke to you this morning. Just say, do you actually have a budget for your business? Just type it in the chat, yes or no. Yay. So we got more people added. I thought we just had two. All right, so Tashbina said no. Daryl said somewhat. Who was that? HB on here. HB said no. Rita Cox says yes. Of course you do, Rita. Miss Account, your husband is in finance, and you better have a budget. Someone said business, no. Personal budget, yes. Okay, we're almost 50-50. I'm surprised at that, to be honest. Typically, it's a hard no. Like I said, especially coming off. So wouldn't you guys agree that we're coming off of um, where spending has been crazy? If you don't agree, the nation does because they got this big push on slowing inflation down. So shift tactic two talks about managing your expenses. And they talk in shift two, it talks about managing your expenses in your business life, but first of all, your personal life. Um, some of the things that you may have just let go by the wayside because there was so much money flowing, you need to look at that. You need to look at all of your monthly subscriptions that you have that are coming out. You need to look at, how you're spending your days. Are you eating out a whole lot? That's first and foremost. I would cut personal. Most people think when it says cutting expenses, they first go to their business expenses. Who could tell me why that's not the right way to go? If you start cutting business expenses first.
Because you would need to identify if it has the return on investment um, that you're expecting. So
absolutely, Philanda Shay. You want to make sure that the things that you're spending money on have an ROI. So if you go right in cutting business expenses, then you could be cutting out the thing that's fueling your business, the thing that's bringing you the profit, just so you can have some luxuries in your lifestyle. So you're leading with your lifestyle. And I can tell you right now, in a shifting market, you're not going to just say, "Oh, I'm going to revenue myself out." You're going to drive yourself crazy. So you have to get real, get right is more important now. You should always be running a budget, even in a great market. However, we know we get a little loose. But now it's super important that we, you know, cut out some of those expenses. Start looking at some things that you just, like, if you're paying for a gym membership and you haven't been in 6 months. Well, that boat has sailed. Like, you're probably not going to go. You might want to cut that out and just start walking for a minute. Yeah, just things like that. Just things that you could be doing. And then watch your other habits as well. Someone said something Loretta said you need to keep the momentum for what's working. Absolutely, same thing. You have to keep that. You can't just cut those out. So looking at your business, looking at your personal expenses, that's going to happen, and you don't want to cut out things that's going to generate more leads. So where let's, because this is the chapter today, talk about some of the things that you may be doing right now in your personal life, just to give some people some ideas. um what what are you paying for right now that you can look at and say, wait a minute, that got out of control? Just to give that, because we want to walk away with some takeaways here.
I guess I can start. I just had to go reevaluate all of my expenses using Mint, like the app Mint. And it broke down, all the things I didn't need to see. But the biggest thing that blows my mind is I have spent year to date $657 at coffee shops. Coffee shops. I'm like, okay, Tanise, you got coffee at home, and the creamer at home, and the sugar. Okay, we're not going to another coffee shop for the rest of the year. $657. So that was mind blowing. Streaming services, all these automatic subscriptions. So I just cut all of it out. Delete the Starbucks app, all of it, because no. But Mint is a really helpful tool, at least for me, to categorize and see how much money I'm spending: home, auto, financial, charity, whatever. And then all these random things that are just out of control expensive.
Man, to me, you hit it right on the head. I've been in many masterminds, over the years, and not just during a shift, but especially during this time. And that's the discussion: finding a leverage piece to help you sift through what you're spending. Because a lot of times we don't know. And then Rita says she used Quicken. A lot of times, we don't know. And it's a task to go back and pull your, but you might have to do this, go back and pull your credit card bill and kind of pull your bank statement, anything that you're spending money with, and just look for those things that are showing up multiple times and evaluate those. But Tanise, you just blew me away. I mean, $70 a month on coffee. I'm scared to look at mine, Tanise. I'm gonna be honest. I'm so scared to look at mine, but I have to do it. you know. Rita, I said Rita said she used Quicken. You guys, look into Mint, but you also have a tool that the Market Center pays for. This has nothing to do with KWRI. This is a partnership that our Market Center got into with Dave Ramsey. It's called Financial Peace. You guys all have access to that. And it has a very similar function that Mint does, where it can help you create your budget, but it also can look at what you're spending too. So those are two things that you guys can do to get started on that. Yes, the Financial Peace is an app, Casey. Kiara. Check your email, and I'm thinking you can email Casey. She will probably gladly send you out that information so that you can jump on there. But it's a real robust little system from Dave Ramsey. A lot of training in there as well. Speaking of expenses cutting, a lot of mindset stuff around expenses, but also a lot of tools you can use in that app on that Financial Peace. So moving on, I think that was a great. Thanks, Tanish, for sharing in that. And when I say watch expenses, guys, don't go just slashing everything. You still have to have a life. Just have a budget around it. Like Tanish, I still want you to get a cup of coffee, girl. I still want you to have that experience by going to Starbucks. Just cut it back a little bit, maybe $30 a month,
Right.
Small steps. Yeah, exactly. You got to treat yourself. I mean, we do work hard, but we just have to watch it. That's all. We just have to watch it. So I have enough of you got Patricia Haynes. Oh, Patricia Haynes is excellent. Yep. Plug. Absolutely, she is. So build that person. We're not all experts. Our job, we service our clients. We're in real estate. Don't be afraid to grab leverage, in your life, whether that's an app or a person. And Patricia Haynes definitely is great. I can't read it. Philanda says, what if you stack your coffee shop visits with something? Hold on. I'm trying to be
With
on here and
appointments or a new
look
business
at the chat at
appointment.
the same time.
Like just multitask it. Like if you cut it down and it's once or twice, maybe you stack that as a way of building relationship with new business or clients, or you can habit stack that behavior.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You want coffee. Just have somebody meet you there. Yeah. But you got to be careful with that too, though, Philanda Shay, because now you're not buying one cup of coffee. You're probably buying.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But I get the concept. I get what you're saying. You can have your fix. But those. Yeah. But if you're getting an ROI on it, I guess it's okay, Philanda Shay. I see what you're saying. I guess it's okay if you're getting. And Deanna just dropped the Dave Ramsey link in the chat for anybody that's looking for that. I would definitely look into it. It's free. I mean, well, it ain't free. We paid for it for you, but that was something we did a few years back when we was talking about wealth building and stuff. But I think that's a phenomenal time. This is a phenomenal time to dive in there with that. So I have enough. We have enough on. So I'm gonna change my view real quick because I can't see everybody. All right, cool. We have enough on now. Talk to me, guys. What are you experiencing this week as we get further, along, and the market is slowing down. What I mean is we're slowing down so that we were moving fast before, but now we're in a skills-based market. What have you sharpened up this week? To make sure that you're staying on track and you're staying ahead and reaching out, to your clients and stuff. Somebody share. What are you doing this week? Wow, that much? Yeah, I should be all over that. No, you're doing something.
Well, I've been calling my D2. That's my
Okay.
person. So I've been calling past, people that's in my D2 that were working on their credit just to see where they are, how, just to kind of touch base and see what they're doing and see where they are in the
Yeah.
process. They need any more help or what have you. Just kind of touch base and say, I'm here for you. That type of thing.
Yeah.
And also
So
asking for referrals.
yeah. So so basically you're strengthening your sphere of influence, of course. All right. Kiara said she went door knocking.
Oh, Terrell, can I jump in?
Yes,
Oh.
Rita Cox, of
Oh,
course.
so,
You're
yeah,
great.
tomorrow I
Let me
have
tell
a,
y'all, Rita Cox have been through like 5 ships. No, I'm just kidding. But no, Rita definitely survived the shift. And Rita, it's funny, I was gonna reach out to you. We pulled what do you call it? Multi-year trends for our veteran agents that we knew was around during the shift. Wait till I show you your multi-year trends coming off the shift, Rita. You
okay.
crushed it. You crushed it. So,
But one thing that I was going to say that I'm doing now, I've got a home buyer workshop coming tomorrow. And the great thing about this is that for the first time in a while, we're optimistic for buyers. It's like, it's good news for them. And, because a lot of them have been, kind of losing hope or feeling like, it was a tough market for them. So now it feels like at least we can give them some hope, get in, don't stay on the sidelines, get in. So.
yeah, absolutely. And I'm telling you guys, I shared a graphic last week, and all the slides are out now from Mega Camp. So if you just go on your KW, you should be able to find those. But those graphs work like gold, and they speak to now's the time for buyers now, right? That's what a shift is. It's starting to shift to where buyers are getting a lot of benefits. We're seeing price drop. Aren't you guys seeing builders? Builders are giving like 4 and 5% to you guys now. Better go find them. Those builders are upping the commission that they're giving you. They're giving more incentives to the buyers now. They're being a little more loose, right? Because they understand it too. They understand where we're going. It's no panic thing. It's just, all right, I did really well during the pandemic. I want to keep doing well, so I'm going to get ahead of it. Which takes us. It's another tactic, but I'll talk about it a little bit. When you're talking to sellers right now, do not let them force you into putting that super high price. You're going to be doing them a disservice, and they're going to chase the market down, and they're going to probably get way less than what you suggested in the first place because they're going to miss their real buyer. So have that tough discussion and let them know you want to price it for the market that we're entering, not that past market, because we're going to be chasing. So similar to what Rita said, and it's funny. Rita said a home buyer seminar, because when I looked at her multi-year trends and saw her uptick, as we was coming out of the shift, one of the things Rita used to do a ton of is buyer workshops. She's not on my screen anymore. I don't know if you're still on her, Rita, but Rita used to do a ton every weekend, pretty much. She was doing those buyer workshops. So, but what that says to me is she was getting in front of people. And remember when I said earlier that HASTA, things happen, we become aware of it, we put strategies in place, we do training and coaching, and we have someone hold us accountable. Well, that training and coaching, although she was bringing value to other people, it was keeping her abreast on what was going on, what programs were out there, how she could get some of these buyers in homes. It was still helping her become sharper at her game. So when she ran into someone, that was ready to buy, she knew which loan program, she knew what to do, she knew what the process was, she put systems, but all that came from her giving back, right? So even if it's not a home buyer seminar like Rita's doing, where maybe she goes into these organizations and speak, couldn't you get 4 or 5 people I'm gonna use Philanda Shay's tactic around or at Starbucks and have a discussion about the market, right? They're gonna come up with questions that you have to know the answers to. Guess what that's doing? It's bringing value to them because surely you're gonna be sharing some things that they don't know already, but it's also gonna sharpen you, right? Have those small talks, have those small groups. You could do it over Zoom. You could do, that's what we're doing now. Trust me, you guys are sharpening me. I learned something right. I have one note right now. Mint. And Philanda Shay said, I forgot about mint. I know about it. You know, so and to share Dave Ramsey thing with you guys again. So we all learn something by giving as well. Someone's asking you, Kiara, how was the door knocking? Rita is. While we wait on Kiara to respond, guys, who else is doing something this week that enhanced their business, or they're going down a different avenue, or strengthening what you've been doing?
I'll say like increasing my reels. Sorry, I got a lot of background noise. But I'll say like increasing my reels and like what I put on my reels. That has been really good. Like I did one top 5 myths in real estate, and it's like 6,600 views. And I'm just like, whoa. And I've had people reaching out, asking questions, and creating the relationships through my Instagram lives on the first Friday of every month has I really think it's caused me to be the expert of choice, right? Like I've had clients reach out to me and say, hey, what does this mean for me, the Bank of America program, right? They got questions about it. Oh, let's hop on a buyer's consultation, right? So I've had like 5 of those this week just from that Bank of America information that dropped out. And so Philanda Shay put me in loop of Regis Bank. They do the same thing basically. They have a 100% option. They have a 97% option, but I'm providing that information to my clients. Like, hey, Bank of America isn't here yet in Georgia, but we have Regis Bank that is with a very similar program, and it's not neighborhood specific, So I'm like, I think just really for me, social media has increased like my flow of my conversations and just getting after it consistently.
Wow. And remember, we talked about that last week, just doing something, whether it's weekly, whether, it's every day. We talked about that, and look, she's getting results already, from one story. Also, I don't know if you guys remember this from Mega Camp, for those that went or watched, streamed it live. They had someone on the panel that talked about social media and stuff. And the suggestion was, get this, it seems over the top, but the suggestion was 10 stories a day. 10 stories a day. Now, they don't have to be long, they don't have to be, but they suggested 10 stories a day. I was like, what? How do you have time? But it's just simple stuff like when you're working your everyday life. Oh, I'm going to lunch now. To us, we feel like people would get tired of that. But I always go back to those that have Amazon and how many Amazon emails we get every single day. Have you blocked them yet? No, because something may come across that you want. So that's the same thing. If you're doing interesting stuff, I always used to say, why does people show food and restaurants and all this stuff and where they're going all the time? Guess what I do now? Mostly. Those people who did that, and that I used to be like, why do they do that all the time? Guess what I do now? I go to their page to see where's the latest place they ate, because I would need a new place. So people will not get tired of it. I'm telling you, if you're bringing good content, people they'll come back to you. And that's what you want. You want them to come back to your page to look for you because she's known for XYZ, right? You want people to do that. So anyway, anyone else? Kiara did answer you, Rita. Hold on. I thought I saw it pop up.
Hey, TP.
Oh, she's on live. Go ahead. You
Sorry,
typed
I
that
was
long stuff.
that wasn't me,
Oh,
but yeah,
oh, that's
that was yeah, I was multitasking. Sorry about that. But yeah, so to piggyback on that, Mega Camp definitely kind of gave me like the boost that I needed. And when you mentioned the 10 stories, that's something else I'm doing. I have a cyberbacker, so she's been handling my social media page. But yeah, we're trying to do 10 stories now, live once a month. And just some other things that they mention about how the algorithms and all that bring so many people to your page. So definitely try to incorporate a lot of that feedback that I got from Mega Camp. But to answer the question about door knocking, so I haven't door knocked ever. So the market is shifting. My listing is not moving as fast as, my listings have typically gone off the market in 5 days or less. So it's been a week. And so I was like, I got to do something different to get a different result. So we went out, me and Giselle, I don't know if everybody knows, but I have a team now. So Giselle's on my team, and we knocked 20 doors. We had I would say we had half respond, including the people who answered from their Sky Bell, which was fine. Everybody was really nice, really friendly. So we had flyers in hand, and we let them know we having an open house this Saturday and Sunday. And one of the neighbors, he was actually outside washing his car, and he kind of kept the conversation going, like, how much can I get from my house if I want to sell? So he had some questions we were able to answer. So I would say it was a success, and it was a bonus because one of my high school classmates, I didn't even know this, but he lives in the neighborhood, so he drove by, and he didn't see me door knocking, but he was like, hey, I just saw your sign in my neighbor's yard. And I was like, oh, wow. So, and his wife is a realtor with a different brokerage. So that was a great connect as well, because I was able to send it to him. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to see if she has any buyers that are qualified for your listing. So I would say it was overall a success.
100%. Great job. I mean, see, I'm telling you guys, you have to get out there, because that's how you find the motivator, the motivated. And that's the market that we're in right now. That's why I said it's becoming a skills-based market. We can't sit back and be order takers and stuff. And not saying that we did that all the time. It just came to us. A lot of it came to us. We did work, but it came to us. Now we just gotta maybe put an extra hour in. We got to put a little bit more work, or maybe go do some door knocking. You've never done that before, but okay, you know what? I gotta find some other ponds to fish in, because it may get a little scarce where I'm at. I've kind of took a lot of fish out of this pond, so it's not a lot in here. I'm still going to fish in here, but I'm also going to drive up to this other little fishing hole or this other lake and see what I can catch over there as well. So this sounds like that's what you're doing. I think that was definitely the theme from Mega Camp, was to double down on things that you're doing that's working right, but also stick your foot and put your fishing rod or whatever in another pool, so that you can see what's biting over there as well. Sounds like you definitely got that message. If you guys did want a model, and I can see if I'll text Casey and see if she can get this out to you, but it's a one sheet on how to get 30 deals on using this Instagram model. So it talks about finding a lender partner or someone that knows about mortgages and things of that nature. Put it out to your sphere and do a Zoom call like this, but have the lender partner on there. That was Tanisha just said she got so many responses by saying the 5 things or something to buying a house or whatever. Like, get people that you can do 5 things to sell a house, depending on who you're targeting. But it's a one-sheeter basically, and she talks about creating or switching to a Instagram step-by-step process and Instagram in your settings. She said follow 20 new people every day. How many of us have gotten to where we don't even accept no more friends, or we're not going out finding new people to follow? Man, become a stalker on that. But I won't go through all of it, but it's a nice one sheet on everything that you need to do. Since we kind of went off on social media, and I'm always on here every Friday trying to give you guys something to go do. I love it that Tenise went out and started doing those reels. We talked about that last week. I love it that Kiara went out and did door knocking. We talked about that last week. So, you know, it's 8:30, guys. And I know I said it's 11:30 your time. 11:45. We're going to make sure that these are 30 minutes. Because I looked at that thing last night. I felt like we talked about some of the same stuff towards the end. But anybody have anything else pressing that they would like to share? Hope this, you know, you found these 30 minutes, you know, real useful. I do have a guest coming on next Friday. So buckle up, invite a friend. I definitely see my man HB on here. We go way back. He's not even in our market center, but I love it. So listen, guys, if does anybody have anything pressing that they want to share?
I have something, TP.
Yes, go Keith.
I just want to say something that's been keeping me motivated is like being back in person with people. I didn't realize how much the pandemic had like, I mean, I've always kind of been like, I'm never in the office. I never got an office, but I just didn't realize how much in-person interaction really motivates. So I just suggest everybody kind of get in person. Like I did Cares for Kids shopping yesterday, met new agents in the office, which motivated me because they were like, oh, I see your name popping up. And I'm like, oh, so that kind of boosts me to be like, oh, let me keep going, you know? So even just like small things like meeting with Terrell, I'm trying to meet with him now, like once a month, just to kind of see where I am, see what my trends are, you know, get motivation and ideas from him. So just the little things, meeting in person again with people has been great.
I love that you said that. I say this all the time. The conversation, people grow to the conversation that you have around them. And all the time you can't get that, you know, over the phone. You know, a lot of that do come in your everyday interaction. So I'm glad you recognize that about yourself, Keith, and you're taking advantage of it. And guys, I promise you, get on my calendar. You know, get on my calendar. I mean, Philonda Shea, you got a story to tell about that. Philonda Shea was like, I need to talk to you. We talk every week, probably for about 2 months, 2.5 months. And if you want to know how that turned out, come by my door and look at the sheet and see where she's at on it now. I'm serious. And I'm not saying that to brag because she took the initiative and she did the work. But people grow to the extent of the conversations that you have around them. I'm telling you. And any of you guys can get on my calendar. Just get with Julia. She sets appointments on my calendar. She knows my schedule. You know, maybe too much. She probably see right now that Terrell's going to be golfing in about the next 45 minutes. I'm out in California on my annual guys trip, but guys, I really appreciate this. This is so important that I didn't want to not even do it, even though I'm in California. I'm like, you know, Deanna and Casey was like, we're gonna do it. And I was like, absolutely. I was like, it's Zoom. That's the cool thing about it. So thanks for showing up, guys. We had over 30 again this week. Tell a friend. I'm putting it out there. Tell a friend because we're gonna have a really cool guest next week. And please don't embarrass me. Talk, guys. He's gonna be asking a lot of questions, but he's great. Trust me. He's phenomenal. Y'all gonna love him. All right, guys. I'll see y'all. I'll be back next week. See y'all next week.